Hey everyone, I'm Manesh, the psychedelic scientist. In this video, I'm going to be giving you some tips on how to best integrate your psychedelic experience. Psychedelics are powerful substances with strong transformative potential. However, they won't do the work for you. What they can do is catalyze these experiences where we have insight into our patterns and have an opportunity to grow in certain ways. However, it's on us to translate these insights into lasting changes in our life. And this process, going from the complex and often overwhelming nature of our psychedelic experience and bringing that back into our day-to-day life, is called psychedelic integration. And a lot of practitioners say the integration is just as or even more important than the experience itself. So you really cannot take this lightly. In all situations, creating lasting behavioral changes in yourself takes a lot of deliberate care and effort, and psychedelics are no exception to this. And so there are a variety of ways to approach integrating a psychedelic experience, but in this video I'm going to be talking about how researchers approach this in the recent trial using psychedelic therapy for treatment-resistant depression. And in particular, I'm going to be drawing on insights from the so-called Accept, Connect, Embody, or ACE model of psychedelic researcher Rosalynd Watts, who works at the Imperial College Center for Psychedelic Research. And so the integration process that this model proposes comes in 3 stages. So the first stage is to try to understand your experience in as much detail as possible, and also create a narrative of what happened. And this can be extremely difficult and involves some degree of filling in the blanks and storytelling in order to make it into a linear story. But this is essential because it allows you to solidify this often complex, crazy experience into something you can easily recall and relate to your day-to-day life. Think about it this way: psychedelic experience is very similar to dreaming. And actually, research studies have explicitly looked at this and found links in terms of brain processes and mental processes. So imagine if you wake up from a very crazy dream that was unusually vivid, and then you wake up and it's like, how do you make sense of this? And so you come out of it, you need to make sense of it. And of course, it's not easy at first because you're trying to tie together many loose ends and things that don't really make sense. But what is important for a psychedelic experience is to try to make the most sense of it as you can, because otherwise it'll just slip away into your memory very fast. So the first stage is to create a meaningful narrative around your experience. And the second is to interpret and analyze this experience. How does the content that emerged relate to your intention? How does it relate to current patterns in your life, things you're working on, things you're going through? How can we understand this in terms of your extended life history and the experiences you've gone through? And try to really dive into all the personal and meaningful content that emerged in the session and derive some insights from it about your life and how you can grow, how you can change, and how you might see things from a new perspective. And so again, this is to take your narrative that you just wrote and try to interpret it in this kind of a way. And this is often very helpful to do with a mental health professional or with a friend, or you can also do it by yourself if you're particularly introspective. And 3, now you got to take these insights and things you've learned from the experience and put it into actionable steps which you can immediately implement in your life. Because at the end of the day, having some abstract insights on how you can change is cool, but all that really matters is how are you going to implement this in your life? How is this going to change your day-to-day functioning? And in order to do that, you have to be really explicit about it and know exactly what you want to do and set goals for yourself as well. So goal setting is an integral part because it's very easy to slip back into your old patterns after the experience subsides. So you really want to make a conscious intention to persevere through and try to stick with these new patterns that you're trying to set for yourself. Because again, you don't want to just have this experience and let it fade away as a memory of what you could be or how your life could be. You really want to take it home and drive it within yourself in order to create lasting change. And so to summarize, there are 3 stages of the integration process as proposed by the ACE model. And the first is to try to really understand your experience in as much detail as possible and create some meaningful narrative around it. And then 2, you want to analyze your narrative for how it relates to your intention, your goals, what you're working on in life, your patterns, and all the rest. And then 3, you want to get those insights from stage 2 and convert them into actionable steps which you can immediately start implementing. And ideally, you want to also create goals to help you stick with this for the future. And if you are interested in receiving professional support for your psychedelic integration, hit the download link below to check out Mindleap's app. Through this app, you have easy access to a number of psychedelic integration specialists who will help you best integrate your psychedelic experience and transform your life. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for more videos on latest insights from psychedelic science.